Hello everyone. Here we are in our second class. How are you doing? I'm very excited to see all of you live today, but also to see all of you that are watching this recorder later. So we have a very special class today around how to be a leader of consciousness and well-being, creating deep connections with others. First of all, I want to thank you for all your comments, emails about the first masterclass. For those of you that didn't watch it yet, remember that you got an email with the replay. It's very important that you watch that first, not now, but well, if you are watching the recorder, yes, you can go and watch the first class now, and also to do the audio lesson, the practical lesson. And of course, I would like to hear from you, from the ones that are here live today. How was the audio lesson? I know that it was challenging for some of you, that you don't see the movement, but you have to hear the movements and then create it. Remember that, as we said last masterclass, that's part of the methodology, and that strategy free yourself from imitating others in any area of your life. So it's very important to train yourself to be comfortable again with the inner compass of your feelings, with the inner compass of your sensations. And this is really so important, so basic skill that we need to be unshakable on life, as I shared last class, that was the topic, and of course to be a leader of consciousness. So remember that on Monday, I shared with you how to be unshakable on times of crisis, and we learned the importance of autonomy, the importance of mastering your attention, the importance of leave behind your obsolete models, and to reclaim the self-power that you and all of us was born with, that is the self-regulation of the nervous system that leads to self-healing. So in last class, we saw all the theoretical frame about this, and then I sent you the practical audio class to embody all that concepts. So I hope you have the opportunity to practice, because as I always said, well-being is a practice. Yes, Giordana says that she didn't receive the audio lesson. Can you send the link to it? Yeah, Andrea, can you please the replay link here in the chat? We're gonna put it here in the chat for you. Liz said, amazing, felt so relaxed after doing the lesson. Great, thank you for sharing. So now, today, we are gonna learn how to be a leader of consciousness and well-being, creating deep connections with others. On Friday, we are going to see the 4 pillars to expand consciousness and well-being on the new world, and of course on your community. And on Monday, it's the big day where I'm going to tell you everything about the open of enrollments of the first English certification on LK Intelligent Movement that I hope to see so many of you guys in there. I remember that these classes, they are just going to be available for a few days. So please watch it, please practice, please take advantage of all these amazing content that we prepare for you. Okay, so we are going to start with a movement class, okay? And in this class, remember that last class I shared with you the keys of success to practice LK intelligent movement, and that keys are to do mindful movements, to go slow and smooth without pain, because pain triggers defense mechanisms, and to move in a way that you feel safe. So in what we are going to do now, I ask you again to follow these keys of success. This is really fundamental in our work. It's because if you can do the same movements without these keys of success, and you are not going to tap into your self-healing, into the regulation of the nervous system. You need to do the movements with this inner attitude to take the most of the class, okay? So, there, please sit in the edge of your chair. Don't put your back in the back of the chair, just leave your back support itself. Put your feet on the floor. If it's comfortable for you, close your eyes and start to bring your attention to your breathing. And feel there. What in yourself participates on your breathing? Maybe you feel the air on your nose. Maybe you feel how your chest, your belly, maybe your back participate. What's the rhythm of your breathing now? And you don't have to change anything. Just need to be aware. What we do in LKAM is to leave behind us the violent intent of change ourselves, and we shift that to a loving act of self-knowledge. So the main goal in any practice today, but in any practice, is not to change anything, is not to achieve anything, is to get to know yourself better. And when you access into that space, the self-regulation of the nervous system happens, spontaneous transformation happens, and the self-healing happens. The only effort that you have to do is to keep your attention on your sensations and to avoid the temptation of trying to make you different, which is, of course, practicing acceptance. Now feel how is your back. How is your head? And very slowly start to turn to the left and then to the right. And notice how do you do that. And if it's okay for you, keep your eyes closed. Remember, you don't have to see what they do. You need to do it on your own way. And keep moving, keep turning like this, and realize how your chest participates, if it participates. And again, don't try to make it happen. Just allow your body to do whatever he or she knows how to do. Notice if your pelvis participates, maybe your head. And leave that. And now we are going to, I have the sofa can go there, that's better. So remember in the last class, we did this exercise where we put the elbow on the right elbow on the right leg. So do that again. Put your left hand behind your head. And now start to move your left elbow to the left and then to the right. So you move your elbow and of course your head, your chest, your spine, a little bit to the ceiling and to the left, and then to the floor and to the right. And keep doing this very, very gentle, very smooth, very slow movement in a way where it feels safe, it feels mindful. And please, while you do this, feel the weight on your right foot. And at the same time, feel your right ribs. How is to keep your attention on the foot and on the ribs. And leave it. Rest for a moment, come back. You can sit in any comfortable position. And compare your right side and your left side. Remember, we talked about this last class, but I'm gonna repeat it as many times as needed. Consciousness emerges when you can perceive a change on your sensations. And that's what we do in every class. That's why this is a body consciousness technique. So again, put your elbow on your right knee, the same. Put your left hand behind your head, turn to the left, and stay there in any comfortable position. Move your arm, your left arm, so it points to the ceiling. And there start to make a circle in the ceiling with your arm. So it's all your arm that is moving. It's not just the hand. The movement starts on the shoulder. And notice how your left shoulder participates, how your left ribs participate. And make a few circles to the other side. And come back to the center. And feel, how do you feel? What do you feel on your left side? And what do you feel on your right side? Remember, every little difference that you can perceive, it's an evidence that your true self, your consciousness is emerging. It's an evidence that your true self is showing up. It's an evidence that your nervous system is self-regulating. And now put the left elbow on the left knee. Put the right hand behind your head. And now move this elbow, the right elbow, to the right and to the ceiling, and then to the left and to the floor. And be very loving, very kind with yourself. Don't force, don't make it force. Do the movement in a way that it feels good. And pay attention to what's going on your left ribs. And at the same time, pay attention to what's going on your right ribs. And also notice what your sternum does, your chest bone. What happens between your shoulder blades. And leave it. Rest for a moment in any comfortable position. Now come back. Move your elbow, your chest, your head to the right and to the ceiling. Lengthen your right arm to the ceiling, and now start to make some circles in the ceiling with this arm from the shoulder, and notice what happened in your pelvis, in your neck, and change the direction of the circle. And come back to the center. How is your breathing now? Where can you feel your breathing in yourself now? It is different than a little while ago. One last time, put your right elbow on your right leg, your left hand behind your head, and just move the elbow to the ceiling and to the left, and then to the right and to the floor. Is easier than before? If it is, how? What changed? Maybe there is something moving that now that it wasn't moving before. Maybe there is something moving less now. Leave it, try the other side. Maybe this side is also better. And leave it. Close your eyes and again, just turn a little bit from the center to the right and to the left. How is it now? It's different than before. And if you can do it where you are now, stand up, walk a little bit, and feel while you walk or while you are sitting there, feel your chest, your hips, feel your breathing. How are you breathing now? And feel how it is to be you right here, right now. And now I would love you to tell me how it goes. So you can come back now to your computer and let me know in the chat what different sensations you were able to perceive. Besta said, pleasant feelings, amazing. I feel much more connected. Great, Brianna. Hi, Brianna. Greater capacity for breath. Amazing, Kate. So, body coordination, good breathing, more movement in my pelvis and turning, amazing, Liz. So I want to highlight that all these things that you are comment and other things that you are feeling and are not comment in the chat, that things happens to you. It was never an instruction that said breathe better. It was never an instruction that said feel pleasure or feel more connected or feel how, what else? Or have better coordination, or more moving, or more movement on your pelvis, or turn better. That things are not things that we can control, and that are not things that we want to control. So, and this is what we're gonna see today. The real role of a leader is not to tell people how to feel, what to do, or how to be. Is to open a space, to open a context where the self-healing and the self-regulation and what I call spontaneous transformation, that you are feeling it now, all the things that you are feeling in yourself that show up spontaneously, that's a spontaneous transformation. That is completely different than if I take you, I don't know, sit straight, or chest up, or shoulders down. Spontaneous transformation just happens when you create the right context. And I do believe that professions, well-being professions today, and the professions, the well-being profession of tomorrow, the ones that are going to survive and thrive in the next years, are the ones that allow people to be more and more themselves and to connect more and more with their self-healing superpower. So now I'm going to share with you what I prepared for you today. Okay, give me a moment. This is going to slow. This is going to slow. There. So can you see it? Yes, no? Yes, perfect. So let's dive on today's topic, how to be a consciousness and wellness leader by creating deep connections. So as we said last class, there is 3 things right now that your heart is yearning for. The first one is to have the personal autonomy and well-being in all circumstances, and we see this on Monday. The second one is to be able to create deep and authentic connections with others, and we're going to talk about that today. And the third one is to increase responsibility as a leader of consciousness and well-being in your community. And we are going to see this on Friday. So, what makes you a leader of consciousness? And I would like to know, you can share with me in the chat, how many of you are already a well-being professional, and how many of you would like to update or reload or to change completely if you are not your career. So what really makes you a leader of consciousness, not a teacher, but a real leader in your community, is to take responsibility, to really have a good and deep training, because we see so many people that takes, a weekend of something and then they just call themselves teacher, and we don't do that. The leaders don't do that. Then you need to go to a deep personal process. You need to be able to open the space for others to blossom, and of course to create real connections with your clients, your community, and your loved ones. So when I say that a leader needs to take responsibility, I am talking about many things, but I want to focus on 3 today. The first responsibility that we need to embrace is toward his or her own nervous system. as we said last class, we need to take responsibility of our nervous system. The nervous system, the state, the organization of the nervous system, it's the physiological platform where all our life run. Really, the nervous system is like the hardware where all your life, all your softwares, how you relate, how you work, of course, how you move runs. So this is key if you want to have a happy life, to take responsibility and to have a practice. And this is the second responsibility. To do that, you need to have a practice that allows your nervous system to be regulated and to be balanced. And of course, LKIM is one of the practice that you can do for that. And the third responsibility is toward freedom, toward really allow ourselves and others to be free, free from the past, free from our patterns, free from our false identities, free from obsolete models. So the true mission of a leader is to make others shine. And, you know, in the old paradigm, the leader always tell people what to do, always, you know, was the one with all the answers. Now it's not like that anymore. Now our mission is to make others blossom, to make others shine. Not because we said so, not in the way that we would like to, but by creating real connections with them. And to create real connections, first of all, you need to be able to see people exactly as they are, and to love them exactly as they are. When you see a client and there's this huge part of you that wants the client to change, then you're not love them as they are. And of course, you're going to help them to transform, but in a spontaneous way, not in a violent way. And here I'm going to repeat this because it's key. We are shifting in this new paradigm. We are shifting from the violent act of trying to make someone or ourselves change to the loving act of self-knowledge. Of course, since the Greeks, we know, get to know yourself, get to know yourself. That's really the path to freedom. So a leader is someone that allows others to live their human experience fully as it is in the moment. And I know this is very difficult. We would love that the people we love, our clients, our family, they don't suffer, then don't have to live some situations, but really to love them in any experience and to allow them to live any feeling, any situation. It's what are going to make them shine, and is what is going to create a real connection between you and them. So the leader succeeds, the secrets that why a leader succeeds today is because he or she is not trying to fix, edit, intervene, or save anyone. And if you work with people, or even no, but if you are the person that everyone comes asking for your advice and asking you what to do, you know that it really drains your energy. It really exhausts you when you try to save or to change someone. So my conception of a leader and what I teach people in the training and the certification program is how to be the space where the other can be herself, no matter what physical or mental state she's going through. I'm going to read this again. Be the space where others can be themselves, no matter what physical or mental state they are going through. And this is so hard because we have been trained in bad and good, in the dualities for so long that to be able to embrace someone as it is right now needs a lot of training, a lot of practice. But if you do that, your success is granted. And as we did in the class at the beginning today, but also in the audio lesson, you are going to see how you blossom, how others blossom, how you transform, how others transform, but without the pressure and the violence of have to change, because the belief that is behind that is that there is something wrong with you. So in LKAM, we focus on get to know our patterns and get to disidentify ourselves from patterns. So there is the pattern that is not working for me, but it's not that I am wrong or broke. So the keys to become a leader of consciousness is to, first of all, take responsibility for your process, to keep your personal practice, to practice to become unshakable, as we see last class. And when you are working with others, don't intervene, don't fix or correct. And here, don't impose a model is where we, in our methodology, we remove to copy the teacher. And that's why I give you an audio lesson in the first stage of this training, to remove, to impose someone, oh, this is the right way to move, because we know there is no right way. So again, it's not about trying to change your clients, rather help them to know themselves. Because being the one who can change you, the one who has all the answers, that exhausts you. And the change that you're going to create on them is not going to be permanent. But the change that the spontaneous transformation, like the one you experience when you practice my lessons, that is going to be much more permanent because it's from the inside. And of course, we are going to learn and practice all this in the LKAM certification program. So, of course, you need some skills. And which are these skills? To create these deep connections, a mindful listening, expanded vision, open heart, regulated nervous system. And this is key. I want to talk about this. And of course, we practice in the training. We have many modules around didactic, and we practice all of this. Mindful listening, vision expanded, open heart. We practice everything that I'm sharing with you here. But a regulated nervous system, it's the greatest gift that you can give someone, because our nervous systems mirror each other. And a regulated nervous system is the key to really be empathic with someone. This is revolutionary. Absolutely. I am convinced this is really the revolution. This is the disruption in the personal development world. Absolutely. So have you ever been with a person that she or he come into the room and you just get nervous and you just get uncomfortable? And have you ever been with a person that you see him or her and you just feel calm and relaxed? This is a reaction to the state of their nervous system. And when your nervous system is regulated, all the people around you are going to feel it. And we have so many testimonies around this about the families and the friends, and of course the clients, or our hundreds of graduates in the Spanish world that changed, not just because the person was telling them what to do, no, because the person changed and was in such a state where everything around it changed. So your nervous system has a direct impact in any person, in any being that you have an interaction with. So that's why I say, and I keep saying, that you need to be responsible for the state of your nervous system, because then, and only then, is when you are going to be able to create deep connections, not from your child patterns, but for your adult patterns. So the key to become a leader of consciousness also is to be able to create experience and to create the context where the person can get to know themselves. So all this free training is also an invitation to initiate a journey to become a well-being and conscious leader with us in the certification. But first, because I'm going to tell you everything about that on Monday, as you said, but first I have a gift for you, a PDF with practical exercises to become a leader of consciousness. So if you are watching this in the replay, you can find right here below the video the PDF. And for you that you are live today with me, don't worry, we're going to send you the PDF to your email. So, wait. So, do you have any question about this? Yes, Pesna, write me an email to english@eliakaufman.com and I will send you my book. So while you think about your questions, I would love to invite here with me to Cynthia Rodriguez Juarez, who is a trainee in our certification program in Spanish, and she is a creativity catalyst working at the intersections of creative writing, art, somatics, and transformative liberation. She spends her time between Monterrey, Mexico, and Leicester, United Kingdom. Read more about her work as a published writer, facilitator, and coach at cynthiarodriguez.com. And we're going to put Cynthia's website here in the chat so you can connect with her. So, Cynthia, where are you? You need to open here. Cynthia, I'm going to open your audio and ask you to open video. Hi, Cynthia. There, now I can see you, but no? Give me a moment. Okay, apparently this is not working. So, okay, let's gonna give Cynthia a few minutes to work on her internet. Okay, any questions in the meanwhile?
Hello.
There you are.
Hi.
Hi, Cynthia. Hello. How are you?
Hi. Good. Thanks. How are you, Leah?
Good. Thank you. Thank you so much for being here today. Where are you now? In Mexico or in UK?
I'm still in the UK. I'm going to Mexico in the next month and a half. But now I'm just busy arranging the moving out.
Of course. So thank you so much for being here today. I know that you have such a wonderful background. You have been doing so much amazing things in your life. So I would like to know how or what piece of the puzzles LKAM brings to your work as an artist and as a coach.
Oh yes, it's just been wonderful. It's been a change, 300. It's been a 180 degrees change in my life, basically. Like, I've been a poet for about 10, a writer and poet for about 5, minimum 10 years. I've been doing facilitation, like doing workshops and things like that. But there was something missing. There was always something missing, and I was always feeling really sad, really empty and sad, and I was not very connected with my body. Like, I was bullied as a child, so I grew up just feeling like I was not enough, that I was not okay, that there were things that really needed to change. And I just tried everything. I did try things like yoga and meditation, but it was more from also from that perspective of, hopefully this helps me to lose blah blah blah, to look like this, to do this. But with LKMI, it's a lot more loving and kind and welcoming. Like, you don't have to have, you can be of any fitness level, you can be of any size, any shape, background, because you learn so many good techniques that make life a lot easier, that make working on the yoga, on the mat, very easy. And then you start learning to recognize, for a start, your body, like being aware of parts in your body that you weren't aware of. Like, I was like, pelvis was like connecting with the pelvis, connecting with the ribs, the like movements that you thought you could never do before. And even if you just do them in your head, like using imaginary imagery, imagery exercises through the day, even if you're like on the queue at the supermarket, you can imagine that how bits about, like how you can imagine, you can carry on with your movement and your awareness of yourself in your three kingdoms. I really like the concept of the three kingdoms, and it's very nice. It's very, it makes you feel a lot more complete, like because you've always been complete as a human being, and it just makes you realize like, hey, there's nothing wrong with you. There's maybe the patterns that you've been following all your life, and then you start noticing those patterns that weren't the best for you, and you start to let them go and replace them with patterns that are a lot more efficient and faster and pain-free. Most of the time it's pain-free, like the it's, like that thing of no pain no gain. It's like no pain, gain. Like you have more to win living a pain-free, more wholesome life. And I'm working on bringing that also into my practice, as doing like writing more from a more regulated, self-regulated and co-regulated state, and teaching future pupils, future students, how to bring that awareness into their lives, bring that joy into their whole beings. It's just really good, and thank you very much.
Oh, no, that's beautiful. Thank you, Cynthia. And I want to take that thing that you said about writing with my more consciousness. And so many times art is like a catharsis, right? A catharsis. Do you say that in English?
Yeah, catharsis. Yeah.
Right. And that's amazing, and that has its place. But in the catharsis, we are expressing our patterns, and we are expressing our wounds. And catharsis it can be so much healing, but also is still not who we are. Who we are is when we tap into this regulated nervous system to become the loving beings that we are, behind all the drama and behind all the trauma. And what you mentioned also about yoga, meditation, and also in art, it's sometimes like that you enter like in a trance, and that it's a parallel with the catharsis, and that's great. And again, it has its place, and you can do many things in there, but that's different. That to be aware and to say, oh, I do this, and when I do this, I have back pain, or when I do this, I feel depressed, or when I do this, or this is me feeling sad, or this is me feeling happy. So it's an approach completely different that, of course, requires maybe much more courage and much more much of you to showing up, because you need to be yourself and to reclaim to be yourself more and more every time. So thank you, Cynthia, so much. There is anything else that you want to share with us?
Thank you so much. I'm really proud of this, and like kind of this is just my case. What I'm going to say, it's just my case, and I'm doing it with the help of my doctor, of my GP, and I've been doing it very carefully. But I've gone from being depressed and sad and upset all the time, and having to go through like, what do I take, what do I do to fix this, to delete this, to do this. Now I'm weaning off my antidepressants, thanks to thanks to LKMI, thanks to some like just being more within my somatic self and transforming. Like this transformation has been so wonderful. It's helping me to gather strength and be like, yes, the meds did their thing and they were amazing, and I'm very thankful for them. But now it's time to let go, because this is something a lot more sustainable and something that is, well, that is from within you. And that's something that I'm really proud of, because it's like the first time in many years that I'm like, okay, I'm kind of like more in harmony with myself and my the kingdoms where all these emotions and thoughts and patterns and body movements and so on happen, which are not me. Like I am just the vessel of those things that happen, but I am just like a more integrated person, and that's something very nice. Like again, this is done with a lot of like caution and help and
of course,
consistency
the doctor.
with the doctor.
Of course,
But
yeah. That's amazing. I'm so proud of you, Cynthia. And I remember it was just a few months ago in May where you start the certification with us, and your transformation is so wonderful to see. And I'm really honored and privileged to witness your transformation. Thank you. Thank you so much for being you and for being here with us today.
Thanks very much, Leah. Thanks. So it's just an honor. Thanks.
Thank you. Love you.
Love you too.
Cynthia, you have many cheerleaders here. Read the chat. They are saying you so many nice things. So Kay said, it's probably the greatest liberation, freedom. There is nothing wrong with me. Exactly. And we also put there Cynthia's website, so you can get to know her wonderful work. So this idea that I said a lot about consciousness last class and the relationship between consciousness and sensations, and how the conscious of yourself emerge when you can perceive a differentiation on sensation. And also consciousness is who you really are. And my book, and of course, if you are new to my work and you don't have my book, because I send it to my list, please write me and I'm happy to share it for free with you. I explain how my book it's called The Bridge to Consciousness. And it's about 4 stages to connect to consciousness that are, of course, the stage that we practice all the time in the certification program. So this consciousness that you want to connect with is who you really are. But we are slaves. We are like robots because we believe that we are our patterns, our mental, emotional, and physical patterns. What's a pattern? A habit. So you always walk in the same way, you always think the same thoughts, you always have the same emotional landscape, and then it's how you become a robot. But when you start to connect with your body, to feel your body, you start to be aware of the patterns. So if I want to turn, I can realize, oh, my sternum is not moving. And if I move it, everything is easier. So I can start to move my sternum. And I can start to be more and more and more aware of my body. And when I do that, my inner force appears and grows. And when I have enough inner force, I am able to go and be aware of my thoughts and realize I'm not my thoughts, and most of my thoughts are not even true. And that makes me even more strong. That gives me even more inner force. And when I have enough inner force, I can go and see and witness my emotions. And when I have these three kingdoms, mind, body, and emotions, that I get to know them, the way I behave in the world, at the same time that I get to know them, I connect with my consciousness, with my true self, with the consciousness that I am. And you want consciousness to be healthy and to be happy. And consciousness wants you to get to know ourselves. I talk about embodied consciousness. We, you, each of us are the embody of this piece of consciousness that came here to get to know itself and that came here to have this human experience. But we that have free will, we say, no, I don't want that experience. I just want the happy part. I don't want this, I don't want that. And we create an inner war with us and with life. So to really be a leader of consciousness and well-being, we need to be in peace. First, in our nervous system. Second, with our environment, with the people that surround us. And of course, last but not least, with life, to accept everything that life is bringing us. And you can think, oh, then I'm never going to get better, or then I'm never going to have what I want. And it's the opposite. You're going to feel even better. You're going to get even better things. But as Cynthia shared, not because you have to change or to fix yourself, but because you are loving yourself more and more. And you are, at the same time that you allow your nervous system to reorganize, also life reorganize on your favor. And this is, of course, something that we live very deeply in the certification process, that because it's 300 hours, it's not a short course, it's not something that you can achieve in a weekend, it's something that you really need to deep into. So now, to finish, how are you defining consciousness? I talked a lot about that last class, and I said 3 times today, so. Okay. So now I would like to do some more practice. And I would like to say something else before about to embrace wherever are we feeling. We used to hear now, and this is also why LKM is a revolution, it's a disruption in the personal development world. We said there are bad emotions and good emotions, there are high vibes emotions, and you are vibrating low and you have low emotions. Well, on my perspective, that's bullshit. We are here to experience all the range of human emotions. And there is no good or bad emotions. But yes, there is a distinction between emotions. And this is this emotion a pattern from my past that disappears now? Or is this emotion aligned with the situation that I have in front now? So for example, if you are witnessing an injustice, it's completely natural, healthy, and needed to feel rage and to use that rage to make that injustice right, to say something, to take action, to go to wherever it needs to go, to do to wherever it needs to do. But if, I don't know, someone cross you in the traffic, or your boss or your employee or your wife or your husband make a comment and you feel rage, and you can see that that rage is not really appropriate, it's not a healthy response to the situation, then probably that rage is very old. And when you catch yourself on that, you need to go to an intimate, safe space. It can be with yourself, with a friend, with a partner, with a therapist, and sit and get to know that rage. That rage is not bad, not rage, not sadness, whatever it is that you discover that has been with you your whole life. It has been with you your whole life because at the moment that it appears for the first time, you weren't allowed to feel it. So you learn at home as a baby. This is many times before we learn to speak. So we learn that it's not good to feel rage or to be sad or to be needy or even to have any needs. And what we do when we internalize that and we believe that all that emotion, whatever it is bad, what we are really doing is that we are rejecting ourselves of 2 months, 6 years, 1 year, whatever that happens for the first time. So when you sit and you embrace that rage, that emotion, that sadness, you are really embracing the kid that you were, that was rejected. And that on that moment, you learn that there is a part of you needed to be fixed, needed to be hid from others, needed that was wrong. So when we said that we feel and embrace everything, it's not a resignation. It's not that we're not going to change. No, we're going to do a very deep transformation. And the only way to do it is to face all the things that you never wanted to feel before. And that, of course, implies courage. And that's why on our certification, we have a place for you where all you are welcome exactly as you are, no matter your age, no matter your fitness state, no matter your size, no matter your story, no matter your background, to be welcoming exactly as you are. And that is what you are going to learn to do for yourself and for others. So this is key. We don't need to change people. In fact, we change in an environment where no change is needed. We change faster when there is no change needed. So yes, I want to say that because I feel that it resonates with you guys, all this topic. Okay, so if you don't have any questions, now I want to do the last exercise for today. Again, sit. Close your eyes. Feel your feet on the ground. Put your hands on your sternum and feel your breathing on your chest at the same time that you feel your feet on the ground. Now start to move your sternum to the left and to the right. So you side bend yourself to the left, to the right. And allow your mouth to be relaxed, your belly to be relaxed. And do this movement smaller and smaller until It is a mini movement, almost invisible. And stay there with this invisible movement, side bending to the left and to the right. Feeling your sternum with your hands. And there, feel what you feel. Now imagine that there is more space on your chest to feel. And you can repeat to yourself, I feel what I feel. What emerge, what show up on you. And now say, I trust what I feel. And start again, side bending, feeling your sternum in your hands, feeling your hands on your sternum, and you said to yourself, I trust what I feel. Now you don't need, even you don't need to like what you feel, but you can trust. That is your inner compass that will guide you to freedom, to peace, and to real connection with others. I feel what I feel, and I trust what I feel. And leave it. Put down your hand. And notice, how are your thoughts now? How are your feelings? And how are, of course, your sensations? How is to be yourself now? And open your eyes and let me know how was this little exercise. This is an exercise that I called embodied conscious in daily life exercise. So this is something that is very unique in LKIM, how we approach also the mind, the emotions with this exercise that of course are based on movements, but they connect with their kingdoms, the mind and the emotions. It was comforting to me. This says Jordana. Daniela said, I feel smiling. Hey, Daniela. Okay, so we're going to leave it here today. Remember that you are going to get the recording of this class about how to be a leader of consciousness and well-being, creating deeper connections with others. You are gonna get the replay, and you're gonna get the PDF with the practical exercise. On Friday, we are gonna see the 4 pillars to expand well-being and consciousness and in your community. So please do the exercise from last class and from this class before Friday. And on Monday is the great event where we are gonna tell you everything about the certification program of LKIM, where we have just a few spots. The space is limited because, as you know, even though we have been doing this for 10 years in Spanish, we have a community of 400,000 people practicing in Spanish, but this is the first time that we are doing it in English. So it's going to be a very small group. So on Monday, I'm going to tell you everything about here live. These replays are going to be available just for a few days, so take advantage of them during this week. Thank you so much. Yes, India. On Monday, I want to send you the link so you come here. You come here and we can talk, and I can answer all your questions about the certification program. But that's on Monday. Before that, you're gonna get the PDF, and I will see you here on Friday. So thank you so much. Yes, Andrea, you can put the image for next class. Thank you so much for being here today. I love you all so much. I'm very excited that we are doing this together and that we are going to be pioneer on your countries, pioneer on English with this work that has been a revolution, has been changing the world in Spanish for the last 10 years. And now I feel called to do it in English to reach much more people and to spread this work that really is the disruption in the personal development world. We see new professions arising now every day around all the online working, the home office, all the new needs that we have now. So that's why we also need to have new professions in the personal development industry. So I hope to see you, all of you, on Friday, and of course in the certification that I'm going to tell you everything.